be a good one. And then to answer your question, what you said now, no, the major driver is safety. Okay, safety in the sense of your connectors, so minimize your connections, redundancy, and the other one, more importantly, is really your waste stream system, controlling your chelators. It's you're making sure that there's the pH, the effluents going out don't have the heavy metals, pH balance, things like that. But that doesn't require Teflon. Like for example, they're going to use sulfuric acid, like a high concentration. People put a Teflon coating inside the line. It's a liner thing. That's more specialized in the printed circuit industry. They don't tend to do that. They'll run a lower if they have higher concentration. It's already in a special it's a small container and it's localized. But they won't put that inside the process.
Just a question. So you said in PCB board shop people don't used to do that. Is that a perception issue? Is that a cost issue?
The what?
People are happy with what they are using today. I mean the materials.
Yes, I mean, for in general, if you say from a majority, yes, because they look at the supplier of the equipment to tell them what's good, what's bad. Mm-hmm. And what is required. So if you say the government says, well, I want you to put something safety, the government concern, especially in Asia, has to do with the protecting the environment. So it's really your effluence of your metals, pH controls, things like that, non-carcinogens as much as you can. From a safety standpoint, it's a given. But since these chemicals are not running, the most majority are not very high temperature, so it doesn't need Teflon, but it'll need a thicker lining of polypropylene. For example, they'll go a 3/4 inch liner, the tank sidewall versus half an inch. That's what they'll do because the thicker wall will give you resilience in the structure and could sustain little bit higher temperature.
Yep. Okay. Yep. So the question back to the acids question, because I see that probably can be most relevant to the anti-corrosion. So can you explain a little bit how the acids are supplied to the board shop? Because I think they tend to buy. Well, they must buy acids from those acids supplied.
Of course.
Then they are shipped, they are stored, they are diluted, and then how they are recycled.
Okay. So the bulk chemicals, okay, that are used in the acid in hydroxide would be hydrochloric acid, sulfuric acid, and sodium hydroxide. Those are your three bulk chemicals, and they got tank farms for that. And those are stored in polypropylenes. And then you're talking about all the specialty chemicals are all in localized containers that come from the supplier.
So they don't have their own storage tank on site.
No, those are the storage tanks are the three common, and then you'll have peroxide, peroxide. That's at 35%. People don't tend to carry. Some will carry 50% by volume of the peroxide, but that's very rare. And again, it comes in the container of the supplier of the chemical.
Okay. And so how are they recycled?
No, they don't say. It's what they do is it's mixed with other chemicals to create a process to either clean the product, etching the product, or as some type of a carrier for the copper to electrolyte so they could place copper onto the board or oxidize the surface, whatever it may be. But it's not something where you say, I need a Teflon type containment. I'll use the word containment that's required to make my process doable. So my question is, if I have currently a polypro liner in my tank, and I add a Teflon liner, can this make the government happy? No, It's irrelevant because it doesn't get up